for the past 10, I don't know, maybe I haven't heard a word about this guy in so long that I even thought that he was out of sports, period. And the person I'm referring to is a young little black fella named Freddie Adu. On Wednesday night, Team USA needed a spark. They needed someone to come off the bench to inspire them because Panama was playing great defense and was not allowing them to penetrate. And Coach Bob Bradley, who also needed some redemption, inserted Freddie Adu. That's right, folks. Remember Freddie Adu? He was signed as a 14-year-old to play professional soccer in this country, and he was supposed to revolutionize soccer. He was supposed to make people think about Pele, and his skill set was supposed to be so high, and he was supposed to be this, he was supposed to be that. And then in his first year on the team, him and the coach had issues, and basically the coach didn't play him, and the coach was like trying to describe him as being a disgruntled teenager and going through growing pains and stuff like that. Well, then he went and played overseas, and no one heard hide or hair of Freddie Adu. And in fact, he wasn't even on this team. It was kind of like an emergency phone call because the American team suffered some injuries. And this music's so apropos because he just came off the bench like a hero and basically was able to set up a play by hitting Landon Donovan, who hit Clint Dempsey, for the goal that ended up being the goal that gave Team USA its victory and to have them move into the finals of this Gold Cup where they'll be competing against Mexico to win this cup and also avoid having to go through the qualifications to get back into the World Cup a few years from now. Well, actually next year. It's an extraordinary story because essentially this kid has just been ridiculed. He's been beat up in the press. And it's great to see that he has been able to sort of give himself an opportunity to be a contributor to this team and to his country. Because he, like I said before, I mean, he fell off the map. I mean, he was everywhere. And the funny thing was, when he signed in the first game of the season, the ESPN put it on. It was on ABC, and it was supposed to be this big deal. And they only played him the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game, and everyone was kind of like, "What's the point of hyping this kid up if they're not even going to even play him?" And so we're very, very happy that he was able to contribute, and hopefully this will give him an opportunity to play more for Team USA and help build what he was supposed to build many, many years ago when he was a team. And also for Coach Bradley. He needed this win to get the critics off his back. And he got it. And if they can beat Mexico, which is going to be a very, tough game, it'll give him some vindication too. And so we look forward to that final this weekend. Some more good. Even though the Dodgers right now are going through problems off the field, which we'll talk about later on, how about Matt Kemp? Matt Kemp right now is on pace to hit over 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. And we haven't had that happen, I think, not in the last decade. I think A-Rod might be the last guy to go 40-40. Dodger fans, you need to get out there and come see this guy. They're playing the Angels this weekend in Dodger Stadium. You need to get out there and show Matt Kemp some love because he's absolutely playing better than anybody this side of the other person I'm going to talk about after this commercial. But he's playing unbelievable baseball right now for this team. And so get out there and show some love to Matt Kemp. He needs it. And the Dodgers need it. They are struggling. And they need their fans to help pick them up amongst these horrible times that their team is going through. Some more good real quickly. The Williams sisters are back playing tennis, and they are the talk of the tournament. Now, no one expects them to win the thing, but then again, no one expects them to lose it either. We all expect that they're going to give Wimbledon fans what Wimbledon fans want to see, and also challenge for this championship, even though they haven't played that much this year. In fact, Serena hasn't played in a very, very long time, and Venus, I believe, only played the Australian Open. Excuse my voice, I've been sick for the last 4 days, so I don't sound like my normal self. I actually kind of like it. Kind of sounds a little raspy, actually. But anyway, I digress. But it's great to see that they're back playing tennis, and it's great to see that the fans enjoy what the Williams sisters bring to tennis. And if they both keep winning, they'll meet each other possibly in the semifinals, and obviously that would mean one of them would have an opportunity to win the whole tournament. And we'll be back with some more good on 89.7 KLAS FM after this.
What's that sound? That's the sound of children who just finished an activity at Adirondack Camp. Adirondack Camp is located on beautiful and majestic Lake George in upstate New York. Adirondack Camp offers a summer program of athletics, sailing, kayaking, windsurfing, water skiing, mountaineering, arts and crafts, and tennis. But most importantly, fun. Check us out at AdirondackCamp.com. We have 4 and 8 week sections. Adirondack Camp, the traditions are set, the memories are waiting.
89.7 KLAS FM. My name is Richard Harris. Adirondack Camp season is about to start in a couple of weeks, so if you want to get up there, check out the website at www.adirondackcamp.com and go give Matt and the rest of his staff some fun this summer. Send your kids up there. It's a great place to spend your summers, and hopefully you will. And we'll be back to talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly in sports. Here we go. Some more good in baseball. This story is kind of funny to me because it's a representation of the good and the bad. The good in that one player is on a team that is absolutely playing great baseball, and one player is on a team that's actually playing okay baseball, but at least he's performing. In 1986, when the Mets won the East, and they won by I think like 18 games or 20 games, the Mets didn't have a league MVP that year. The MVP of the league that year was Michael Jack Schmidt from the Phillies. This season, the Mets have a player named Jose Reyes who's playing in a contract year, and he's absolutely lighting up the scoreboard every day and every night. He's hitting over 330. He leads the league in runs scored. He's second in stolen bases. He leads the league in hits. He leads the league in multiple hit games and extra base hits. He is playing the way the Mets thought he would play when he first came up. But injuries have befallen him over his career, and he has not lived up to this potential. But he is absolutely showing that even though the owner feels that he's not worth Beltran money, which is crazy, he's showing the owner that he is worth every penny. And by the way, you can call in this show at area code 323-962-1937 if you want to talk sports or ask a question. I'll be talking about a lot of different topics, so don't be afraid to call. But Reyes is playing so great right now that he's even overshadowing Matt Kemp's performance at the Dodgers, because no one's expected Reyes to do this year. A lot of people felt that, that Reyes would pout and be kind of like Hanley Ramirez, who we're going to talk about in the next segment. But Reyes has shown that given a chance, he just wants to play baseball. He doesn't want to talk contract. He just wants to play. And we're wishing him well. And the other good in baseball right now is Adrian Gonzalez. Playing down in San Diego the last few years, no one really saw him consistently be a greater player as he is. And now playing in Boston, where Boston's on TV every week, we're seeing what they saw last year. And that this guy can flat out hit, he can flat out defend, and he's your prototypical number 3 hitter that you just throw in a lineup and just let him do his thing. You don't mess with his swing. You don't mess with anything to do with the way he plays, because he's that good. He doesn't need any help. And yes, the Red Sox got off to a bad start, but it wasn't because of him. And now everyone's starting to hit. Weather's getting warm, and he's just absolutely just lighting baseball up like a Christmas tree. I mean, he's hitting over 350. He's, leads the world in RBIs, and his home run totals will start to climb too as the ball will start to carry a little better in Fenway Park as the weather gets warmer. So a big shout out to him for what he's done this season for the Red Sox. There's a couple more goods, and this one good deserves its own section, but I'm going to bring it into this baseball section so we can move on to the bad, because there's a lot of bad. How about the Cal Bears? California, the last couple of years, have had some financial problems at their university, and so they've gotten rid of some of their athletic programs in order to make payments for their woeful, I guess, finances for their sports teams. And so basically this season, the California baseball team decided to have practices even before they even had money to have a season. And somehow, some way, through fundraising and through other things, they're able to raise enough money, and they had a baseball season. And not only did they have a baseball season, they made it all the way to the College World Series. And in the College World Series, there's 8 teams, so they didn't make it to the final game. They lost yesterday to the number 1 team in the country, Virginia. But they deserve a lot of props for showing their resilience and showing the fortitude that allowed them to get to where they are. And we're very proud of them, and we're hopeful that they will continue next season to build on this season. Their coach was just voted Coach of the Year in all of college baseball. And in fact, getting to where they got to, they had to come from behind in the 9th inning, or actually in late in the game. I think like 7th inning beyond, they came back 5 different times to win games. Like they were the cardiac kids. They just couldn't get it done yesterday against Virginia. So a big shout out to them for just giving West Coast baseball some type of representation. And we wish them well next year, and hopefully they will raise more money to be able to get their programs back and continue to be a part of the good in sports. And we're going to talk about the bad in sports on 89.7 KLASFM after this.